Good evening. Why, friends? I'm going to give it just a minute. It's about 5:29, but I just wanted to hop on a little early to give people a chance to get the notification and come on. My name is Laura. I teach mat Pilates, usually Wednesdays at 4:30. I miss you all. So I'm glad I have the opportunity to do class with you now. So a few things before we get started. In an ideal world, my husband would not be mowing the lawn outside right now, but he is. So let's hope that you'll still be able to hear me. I gave him instructions to start in the front yard. But hopefully you can hear me okay. I won't have any music playing. Now, because in class when I teach, I move around and I see your moving bodies and I can help make adjustments. I can't do that right now. So listen to your body. Don't do something just because I'm telling you to do it. We don't want anybody, doing something that is outside of their comfort zone. Now, with that said, that doesn't mean if it hurts and it's hard on your muscles, don't do it. You know better than that. Push through something that might be challenging, but listen to my cues. Listen to, when I teach in class, I verbally cue everything. I'm not down on the mat doing this with you guys because I want to see you. But I will be doing it all with you today, but certainly listen to the cues that I'm saying, and that should help you through everything so you don't have to keep looking over at the camera. And now I'm not close enough that I can see your comments, so we're just going to hop to it. I want you to lie on your back, on your mat. Now, this is a Pilates reformer, not a death trap, and it's set up as a mat, so that's why I'm on this rather than on the floor. So here we go. You're lying on your back, your knees are bent, your feet are flat on the floor. Your arms are long by your side. And we're just relaxing into your mat here. So just release the tension in your shoulders. Release the tension in your core, in your lower back, in your glutes, in your hip flexors. Just breathe. So in Pilates, our inhales are through our nose, and our exhales are through our mouth. So just take a few nice deep breaths here. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And on your next exhale, we're going to draw our belly button in, engaging the core. We're going to keep that engagement here through your next few breaths. So our core is working here. We're engaged, almost like somebody's going to punch in the stomach, right? Belly button's drawn in, core is working. So right now we're in our neutral spine. You have a little space between your lower back and the mat, okay? So that's what we refer to as neutral spine. On your next exhale, we're going to do a pelvic rock as we tilt the pelvis and we gently press our lower back down to the mat. So now we've closed that little space between your back and the mat, and our belly button is still drawn in, our pelvis is tucked, and this is what we call imprint position. And you'll hear me use those two words throughout class today, imprint and neutral. So let's take a moment to rock back and forth here from our neutral spine to our imprinted spine. And we inhale and we exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. So now on your next imprint, we're going to roll up to a bridge. So we exhale, imprint the spine, and then the hips start to lift up as we roll up one vertebrae at a time up to our bridge. We are all familiar with bridges. I know we are. So think about what muscles are now working to keep you in this position. Our hamstrings and our glutes, right? Our core is working to keep this position, and our hips are even. You don't need to do all this stuff with your hands that I'm doing. I'm just kind of trying to show you what we're thinking about. Hamstrings, glutes, core, hips. Roll it down, melting down the spine. Back to your neutral position. And again, exhale, imprint the spine. Scooping in that belly, roll it up. Head, neck relaxed, shoulders relaxed, hamstrings, glutes working. And roll it We've got one more here. Exhale, imprint the spine, roll it up to your bridge. So from here, we're going to take a little march. I want you to lift your right foot 2 inches off the floor, place it down. Left foot 2 inches, place it down. And we continue alternating. So what we're working on here is keeping the hips even as we shift that weight to one leg. Feel that work through that working leg there. How much that needs to kick in to support your body and not let the hip drop, right? Keep it up. And march, and march, and march. One more. And roll it down. Give both the knees a hug here. So throughout class, you'll find that there's not a lot of resting time given. A traditional mat Pilates class, which is very much what I try to do, flows from one exercise into the next. Okay, so if you need a break, you need to take it. I will probably not say, now let's all rest. Okay, maybe once or twice I will say that. So please keep that in mind, and this is a great go-to position for that stretch. Okay, so listen to your body. Let's bring the knees to tabletop position. Tabletop meaning the knees are right over the hips, and they're about at 90 degrees. So you got a 90-degree angle here and here. Okay, arms are long by your side. Your belly button's drawn in, and we're starting with some gentle toe taps. Tap, lift, tap, lift. Inhale, exhale. So if our back is leaving the mat, we need to draw that belly in more. Okay, this is a very gentle warm-up for the core. This should not be very intense. I don't want the movement at the knee. This is doing absolutely nothing. The angle opens at the hip. Open at the hip. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Now you may choose to stay here or take it up a notch. Extend the leg, return. Extend, return. Reach, return. Inhale, exhale. Now if you started into this nice long leg and your back has started to move, you need to take it back to the toe taps. Either that or pay more attention to what's going on in your center. Reach, return, reach. If you're ready, we take the speed up a notch. Reach and switch and switch. Maybe you're not ready for that. Maybe you stay at the slower pace. Maybe you go back to the toe taps. These are all perfectly good options. Reach. 3 and 2 and 1 and hug the knees. So hopefully we've warmed up the core a little bit here and we've paid some close attention to what our back and our abdominals are doing. Bring the knees back up to tabletop, arms straight up to the ceiling. We're going into a crunch here. We all know this. Head and shoulders lift, and we're going to take the arms long by our side. And inhale, return. And exhale. And inhale. If having the legs up right now is too much, take them down. Okay? There are variations for every level. Next one, up and hold. Hold here. Reach those arms long for me. Draw that belly button in, and we start to pump the arms. We inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. So this is the 100, my friends. If having the legs up is too much, take them down. If being in tabletop is not enough of a challenge, take those legs long for me. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your whole body goes long here. Arms reach above your head. Legs are long on your mat. Inhale, arms come up to the ceiling. Exhale, roll up off the mat. Over to the toes. Scooping control our bodies all the way back down. And again, inhale, arms come up, exhale, up off the mat, over to the toes. Scooping, scooping, scooping through the belly. And roll it down. And so now, if coming all the way up is just not happening, I want you to stop at a crunch at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Okay? So you would exhale up to that crunch with those legs reaching long and return. But if you're rocking that roll up, keep it going here, my friends. And if it's feeling really great, I want you to focus on zipping the legs together, really hugging the legs together and flexing your feet. Flexing the feet so you're pressing through the heels, over to the toes. And we've got one more. Hopefully we're still breathing here. Exhale up and over. And controlling yourself all the way back down. Go ahead and take a moment to adjust. You've probably shifted a little bit on your mat. Maybe your pants have shifted a little bit. And pull your right knee into your chest. My watch just told me to move. I have a feeling my watch is broken. I'm moving here, aren't I? Knee hugged into your chest. And we're going to take our left hand onto our right knee, and we're going to do a gentle spinal twist as you guide that leg across center. Breathe into that stretch. If you'd like, you can let that opposite arm reach long, palm facing up. Not that any of us have any stress in our lives right now that we're carrying in our back and our shoulders. None of us. I'm sure we're all perfectly relaxed 24/7. Bring it back to center for me. Stretch that leg up. Go ahead and lift the head and shoulders if that feels right for you for that hamstring stretch. And while you're here, take a look down at that left leg. I want that leg coming right out from the hip. Don't let it float away to the edge of the mat. Let it come right out from that hip. Keep the leg up. Take your arms down, head and shoulders down. We're going into our leg circles here. Hips stay solid. They're not going to move at all. Belly button drawn in. Leg slightly crosses your center line. Circle around and up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more in this direction, then we reverse. Here we go. We inhale and exhale. So leg circles are not about your hamstring flexibility or your hip flexibility. It's about your core stability. How can you stabilize with the weight of the leg moving around? Stop that leg in the center. Flex the foot. Press through that heel. Slowly lower the leg straight down. 3, 2, 1. Pull that other knee into your chest. Breathe into that. So these leg circles, it's not about how big and sweeping that leg can be. It's about, am I grounded? Am I wobbling? Am I solid in my center? Take your right hand onto your left knee and guide it across your body for a gentle spinal twist. Now I'm on a little narrow mat here on the reformer, so my range of motion's a little limited so I don't topple off the side of this. But feel free to go deep into that stretch if that's what feels right for you. And coming back to center, go ahead and straighten that leg up for that hamstring stretch. You can lift the head and shoulders if that feels right. Take a look at that right leg. Make sure it's straight ahead, right out from that hip. Don't let it float away, okay? Just straight out from that hip. Breathe into that stretch for a moment. And keeping that leg up for me, take your head and shoulders down, arms are long by your side. Belly button's drawn in, leg slightly crosses your center line. Circle around and up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more in this direction, then we reverse the circle. Here we go. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more. Leg finishes high. Flex that foot. Press through the heels. Slowly lower straight down. 3, 2, 1. Pulling both knees into your chest. Rock yourself up to a seated position for rolling like a ball. I'm going to take a moment to glance at the screen and make sure that nobody's saying they can't hear me. Okay, I think we're good. So your heels are hugged in close to your body. You're going to take a little tilt back. Okay, so we're balancing. Our shoulders are down, and we're curving through our spine, so our gaze is down towards our belly button. We inhale, rock back to our shoulder blades. Exhale, rock up to a balance. Inhale, scoop it back. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, keeping those heels close to your body, but if that's just a little too challenging, take your hands behind your thighs. Okay, you have a little opposition there if you press your thighs into your hands. And apparently the one time a year my phone rings is going to be right now, so I apologize. Hold it here. Take your hands down by your ankles for me and just hold this balance. Hold the balance. 3, 2, 1. Hands come onto the knees. Come onto your back. Head and shoulders stay lifted here. 2 hands come onto your right knee. Your left leg goes long out in front of you. And we exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. So this is the start of our ab series here. 5 exercises in a row. Stick with it as best you can. It's going to require a little bit of endurance, but I know all of our fabulous instructors have prepared you plenty for some abdominal endurance here. As we move through these exercises and they become increasingly more challenging, please remember you can always take it back to the previous exercise. 1 more each leg. Now both knees hug in. Both legs go out long and your arms reach above your head. Pull it in. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you close. So my head and shoulders are not moving at all, okay? I'm not lowering everything as my arms move, right? I'm staying lifted. I want 1 more. Both legs reach long to the ceiling. 2 hands come behind the right leg and your left leg lowers straight down. Nice and long, and we exhale, switch. Exhale, switch. If you need a little support for your head, take a hand back, okay? Or even rest it down if that's where you are right now, okay? Otherwise, keep that lifted. 1 more each side. Now both legs finish up to the ceiling. 2 hands come behind your head. Turn your legs out from the hips. We call it an external rotation here at the hips. And we find ourselves in our Pilates V. I hope my feet aren't cut off. Meaning we're turned out and our heels are hugging together. Our belly button's drawn in. You're probably wondering why I'm still talking and we're just holding this position, but isn't it hard just to hold it? So belly's drawn in. Legs are lowering about 6 inches for a count of 3, 2, 1, lift. 3, 2, 1, lift. Keep going. The reason I'm not asking you to lower your legs more is because, first of all, I can't see you. I don't know that everybody's doing this safely. And the last thing I want is for you to be going past your range that you can't control and stabilize through your core. Okay? And if this is work for me, and I've been doing this for almost 15 years, it's probably work for most people, I'm going to guess. Okay, last one here. Knees come to tabletop, and we finish with our crisscross. And I'm not saying I'm in better shape than all you, but you know, when you've been doing something for a while, you kind of know what works. Bring that shoulder to opposite knee. 3, and 2, and 1, and rest. There's one of the probably 2 times that I will say rest during this class. Take a breather, and I'm gonna have you, when you're ready, rock yourself up to a seated position. I'm gonna take a moment to get a sip of water and pull my hair back because I've been blabbing for 20 minutes now. I hope everybody's enjoying this. I hope I have some friends on that haven't tried my class before. I'm going to have everybody now sit with your legs straight out in front of you. And if that is not happening for you, with a flat back and straight legs, okay, if that makes sense, right? I want a long spine, flat back, and straight legs. If that's not happening for you, because of your tightness through your hamstrings, your glutes, your lower back, slightly bend your knees a little bit. Or if you have a yoga block handy, I could have mentioned that earlier, take a seat on it. So what that does, right, is it opens that angle at our hip and allows the hamstrings to relax a little bit so they're not quite as stretched if that's a trouble spot for you, okay? If you don't have a yoga block, a rolled up yoga mat, a couple pillows, okay? So those are all options. Legs are long in front of you and they're about max distance apart, so we have them in a small V, okay? Arms are out in front of you, shoulder height, shoulder width. Long spine. I want you to feel like you're growing even taller. Top of the head up to the ceiling. We're going to scoop in our belly, and we're going to start with the head just kind of tilting forward, shoulders, upper back, and get a nice spine stretch forward, like you're going up over a beach ball. And then we stack that spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, back up to our long spine. So we're not hinging here. That's a perfectly wonderful stretch, but just not what we're doing right now. We're growing tall. We're scooping in the belly. We start head, shoulders, upper back, over that beach ball, and stacking that spine back up. We've got one more. Growing taller, scoop in the belly, up over that beach ball. This was a good one when I was pregnant. You really got that beach ball visualization. And back up. All right, you guys stay where you are. I'm gonna turn to the side. I want a nice opening with the legs to where you feel comfortable, okay? It's gonna be a little challenging for me since I'm not on the floor. I want a nice long side stretch. Up and over. I want you to soften that elbow that you're leaning towards so we don't get this. Our shoulder should never be our earring. Up and over. Same thing other side. Up and over. Breathing into that nice, beautiful side stretch. And bringing it up to center. We're taking this into the saw. Arms are reaching long by your side, palms are facing forward. And again, you can be propped up on that yoga block or your knees can be slightly bent. Exhale, twist. Reach pinky towards baby toe. And then inhale as we come up through center. And exhale, reach. Inhale, up through center. Exhale, reach. Inhale. Up through center, exhale, reach. I want one more each side. And exhale, reach. And bring it up to center. Rest your arms, take a gentle walk forward, pretending my hands are on the floor here. And stretch it forward and breathe. Now, if this feels miserable for you right now, this position with the legs open and the reaching forward and all this stuff, take note of that. This is something you should add to your daily routine. We all have weaknesses. We all have tightness in different spots. For me, mine's my right hip. You know, and that's something I need to work on every day. So just make a mental note of where you're feeling the most uncomfortable. Bring those legs together. And I'm going to have you slightly bend your knees. Take your arms out in front of you, shoulder height, shoulder width, just like we did before with the spine stretch forward. And we're going to scoop the belly and start to roll it back and then stop, where you can maintain and hold this for a few moments. Hold and breathe, scooping in that belly. Feet are planted, feet can be flexed, whatever makes you happy. I do not want your hip flexors on fire right here, so if they are, maybe you need to take it up an inch, okay? We're gonna add a little mini crunch. Here we go, up, up. This whole time we get this feeling, this image that we're scooping our belly button up under our rib cage. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Hold and breathe. We love this part, right? Hold and breathe. 3, 2, 1. Control yourself all the way back down onto your mat. Bend your knees so your feet are flat on the mat. I'm going to take my ponytail out because that never gets my head in a nice angle when I'm on my back. So please keep that in mind. You want to feel comfortable with your head in line with your spine. Arms are long by your side. We're going to tackle these hamstrings and glutes a little bit here, my friends. So feet are firmly planted on the floor, and make sure they're not too far apart because we're going to go into some one-legged movements here. And if your feet are too far, you're going to have to move them, and you'll find out as soon as we get there what I'm talking about. Let's exhale. Lift those hips to a bridge. Hold. So earlier in class, we talked about hamstrings and glutes. And I'll continue to talk about what we call our posterior chain, our hamstrings, our glutes, and our lower back that all work together, right? Everything's working here. We're holding, we're breathing. It's beautiful. Glutes are engaged, hamstrings are engaged. We tend to neglect the back of the body sometimes, right? We're going to do some little pulses with those hips. Up, up. 5, 4, 3, 2, hold. Now, if at any point you need a rest, just take a little drop down and then exhale back up, okay? Do what you need to do. Right leg comes up. I don't care, you can't see my foot, I don't think. I don't care if it's pointed or flexed, it's up. If you need it to be in tabletop, fine. You do what feels right for you. Hips are even, we're just holding here, folks. Holding and breathing. And what do we feel working through that left leg? Hamstrings and glutes. Hello. Yep, I did a little bar work yesterday and my hamstrings and glutes are not happy that I'm doing this right now. Holding 3, 2, 1. Right leg comes down, left leg comes up. Hold, breathe. So we think about all these wonderful exercises that we do in like body pump and these other fabulous classes with weights, right? We love those. Holding 3, 2, 1. Lower that leg down. Hold that bridge. Hold it. And pulse it up, up. And all those exercises are so amazing. And I love strength training. But then we take it down to basic body mechanics here with just our body weight. And that's hard too. So there's room for everything, right? 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Hug the knees. Hug the knees and breathe. And then we've got both legs that go straight up to the ceiling. And now by straight, if this is your straight, that's okay. I'll take it, okay? Don't go killing yourself to straighten your legs completely if that's not where you are, because then that's going to jack everything up back here. And that is not what we want. Legs are long, belly button's drawn in, arms are long by your side. both legs make a small circle to the right, and then a small circle to the left. And we inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. This is our corkscrew. Inhale, exhale. I want one more each direction. Hug the knees. So whenever we get our legs moving through a core exercise, it requires so much work, so many things to think about. So if you're really having trouble connecting brain to body right now, just breathe, work through it as best you can. Let's get those legs back up to the ceiling. Arms are long by your side. We've all done this one before. A reverse crunch. Don't be afraid to just kind of press those arms into the floor a little bit. Get a little tricep work while you're here. Belly button drawn in. We inhale, lift. We exhale, lower. We inhale, lift. We exhale, lower. If you'd rather exhale on the lift, you do that. Two more. Last one. Hug the knees. Wonderful. We're going to switch positions here. I'm going to have you come to side lying. I'm just going to take a sip of water here. You do the same if you need to. And we're coming to side lying for a little abductor work. So, head can be resting in your hand, but if you have neck, shoulder, back issues, I need you to take your arm long and your head just resting down on your arm, okay? That just gets everything in line much better, okay? With that being said, I'm gonna have my head up, my belly button's drawn in. Top hand just resting down in front of you, hips are stacked, lift that top leg about hips distance from the bottom. So like 5 inches, okay? Flex the foot, little lifts, up, up, up. So it's easy to forget about our connection through our core when we're lying on our side. This is what I call our couch potato position, right? So keep in mind, everything needs to still be working. 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to point that foot. We're gonna make small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the leg for a moment. Now what I want you to do is lift that top leg about a foot from the bottom leg. Bottom leg is moving up, up. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Let's swivel around to the other side. Now we could go to town on that side leg series. There's about 7,000 exercises we could do in variations of side lying. But now with the abductors being, the outer thighs being a muscle group that's not overly worked, right? And our daily living, lift that top leg, core's engaged, flex the foot, little lifts, up, up. It tends to tire a little quicker, right? Because when do we ever move sideways? Like never, unless we're maybe an ice skater or a tennis player. So keep that in mind. It tires out a little bit quicker. We don't need to do as many to really get some work going. 3, 2, 1. Point the foot, circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the leg for a moment. Then we lift that top leg about a foot from the bottom. Bottom leg lifts up, up, up. So this side for me is a little harder. Now I mentioned my right hip is an issue for me, right? So now what's working here? My right hip needs to stay lifted, not my right hip, that's the wrong word. My right leg needs to stay lifted through the strength through my hip and my abductor. Let's go one more. So it's a little bit of an issue for me, but I gotta work through it. I gotta pay attention to those imbalances here. From here, come onto your stomach. Don't swivel around anywhere, just lie onto your stomach. I don't care what way you're facing. If you listen to my words, you'll know what's going on. Make a pillow for your forehead with your hands. Bend your knees to about 90 degrees and just a little windshield wiper here, side to side. Release through those hips. Now let me have you take your legs long, please. Long on your mat, long on the floor, wherever you're lying. My head is up just so you can hear me, so I'm not talking into the mat, okay? Legs are long, your hips are heavy into the mat. So pay attention to that right now. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, relax the glutes. Relax the hamstrings. Relax the core, the lower back. Lower back is part of the core, we know this. Relax the shoulders. And just melt into the floor for a moment. Just lay there and do nothing. We always get tension in our lower back, right? Every single one of us. I don't know anybody that's immune to that. So take that moment to just breathe, okay? So as we start to move through our prone work here, our work through what I called earlier, our posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes, lower back. Rest if you need to rest. This is not an endurance muscle group here where we want to keep going until the cows come home, okay? Keep your forehead on your hands. And we're going to inhale as we lift the upper body. Your hands come with you. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So keep going. What I want you to think about, your belly button is drawn in. Okay, you're not pushing your belly into the mat to get higher. We're drawing the belly button in, we're engaging the core, and we're lifting and lowering. Nice fluid movements. I want one more. Now, if you feel ready, you're going to take your arms and reach them above your head like a Superman position. If you have lower back injuries, problems, pain, I need you to keep your hands where they were under your forehead, especially because I can't see you, okay? Whenever we take our hands overhead for any exercise, it increases the load of work on our lower back, which is a fabulous thing if we're strong and solid and stable in that area. But if you're not, keep those hands under your forehead. Otherwise, arms are reaching long, and we inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Now, if you feel ready and would like to add the lower body here for that full Superman, go ahead, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. With that being said, keep that belly button drawn in. Don't push it into the floor to get higher. Lift. Two more. And rest. Sit back to a child's pose for me. And if a child's pose doesn't feel right for you, come to all on fours, hands and knees, and round and arch. Do what feels right for you. Time flies. Oh my, we've got like 5 minutes left. Holy smokes. My kids haven't interrupted me once. This is wonderful. So, let's stay here on all fours. We're going to work into our plank here because I can't mess around with only 5 minutes left. So your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. If you need to be on your elbows for your plank, you go right ahead, okay? Take one foot back, toes are down, they're flexed, you're ready to stand on them, right? Other foot back to meet it, here's your plank. Long line from the top of your head to your heels. We're not doing any marathon planking today. I want you to hold and breathe. I want you to draw the belly button in. Keep everything strong. Your butt's not up. Your butt's not down. Solid straight line. 3, 2, 1. Rest the knees. Sit back to that child's pose. Here we come back to that plank. And no class of mine is complete without Pilates push-ups. So here we're going to work into that. And now I know that my head's going to get cut off. So I'm going to step onto the ground for the Pilates push-ups. But I want to transition you first. Your bottom comes up to the ceiling like a downward dog. Your hands walk to your feet. And now we're in a standing forward hamstring stretch. Hold here. Hold there and breathe. I'm going to step down. I'm probably going to be I'm cut off here too, but that's okay. You'll work with me, right? So now I want you to slowly roll it up all the way to a standing position. And your arms are going to reach up to the ceiling. And I'm sorry that you can only see like 1 foot of me right now. We're going to roll it down. Roll down to that hamstring stretch. You know what? It was better for me up here. Walk out to a plank. Nice, strong, solid plank. I want 1 push-up here, friends. 1 push-up. Mine are pathetic because I've been doing a push-up challenge and my chest hates me right now. And we walk it in and we roll it up. Up, 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 pretending you can see me. My arms are reaching up to the ceiling and I roll it down. Hamstring stretch here. I walk it out. Now, if you come to class with me, you know I like to add on to those push-ups. So here you can do 2, or you can stick with 1. Walk it in. And roll it up. And again, we roll it down. We walk it out. Here's your push-up. We walk it in. And we roll it up. Beautiful. Let me have you come down to a high kneeling position. I don't like that my head's cut off here. I'm sorry, my friends. High kneeling position. There we go. Now you can't see my knees. I have a very small house, and this is the one spot that, that is available for my Pilates practice. So we've got 1 foot in front of us, and your heel a little bit further out than right underneath your knee, okay? We're gonna take a hip flexor stretch. So we shift that body weight forward to allow for that stretch. Here's your hip flexor. I say these things like everybody just knows. Your hip flexor goes right here. It goes and then kind of up and around, okay? So sometimes, those of you that have come to my class have heard this 7,000 times. Sometimes we have lower back pain. I'm not a chiropractor, doctor, physical therapist, but sometimes we have lower back pain, and it's our darn tight hip flexors. So if this is feeling kind of miserable for you right now, add this to your daily routine, my friends. Shift it back. Let's do the same stretch, other leg. I'm going to swivel around. Now, as we're closing out here today, if you have any questions about anything, or something didn't feel right, or maybe you needed a variation and you want to go back and do this workout again, which I hope you do, comment below. Send me a message, whatever. I'm here to help you, and I love Pilates. So any way I can help you, let me know. And now that's the lawnmower I'm sure you're hearing, so that's my cue. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Let's all take a nice inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Thank you, my friends. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed being with you. And I'll see you soon.